A pregnant woman was killed. Her baby was delivered, but is now being treated in the neonatal intensive care unit.
And tonight we are hearing from the woman's family.
This is Love Hurts. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, and hit that notification bell for future content. The summer of 2020 was like no other, especially in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the brutal murder of George Floyd at the hands of Minneapolis police was captured on video. The city was turned upside down. Police stations were burned, riots and looting were happening everywhere, and the entire city was in complete chaos. And living amongst the chaos, just blocks away from where the murder of George Floyd took place, were people like Lanisha Columbus. 27-year-old Lanisha Columbus, affectionately known as Nene, was gorgeous. She was smart, honest, and above all, she was loyal. When she had your back, she really had your back, whether you were right or wrong. She had one of the biggest hearts, and she would do anything for anyone. She was a mother, a daughter, a sister, and a friend to so many. Everyone loved her. She was everyone's neighborhood homegirl, the type that all the ladies were cool with and all the guys wanted to be with. Leneesha was employed in the baking industry, but she also worked as a publicist for a small entertainment company. Her real passion was modeling, though. She didn't always feel pretty growing up, but as she grew older, she developed like a beautiful butterfly, and her confidence soared. You couldn't tell her nothing. She knew she was cute, and she loved taking selfies to show off for the world. Leneesha was in a relationship with 27-year-old Zachary Robinson. The two had been together for many years, but the relationship was toxic to the core. He was the type of guy that wanted to do whatever he wanted to do. He wanted to hang out with his friends, he wanted to talk to other women, but he expected Leneesha to be perfect. He could mess up and cheat, but she was expected to just deal with it. He wanted to control her. Sources say Leneesha had at least one child with Zachary, and she was 5 months pregnant with the couple's second child. Zachary also had children with another woman, and may have still been involved in an on-again, off-again relationship with his other child's mother. Clearly, he and Leneesha's relationship was extremely messy. Zachary had a criminal history and a short temper. He was known to be involved in a local street gang, and it was well known that he always kept a weapon on him. He was truly going nowhere fast. He was in way too deep with the street life. That man didn't care if he lived or died, so obviously he didn't care about those around him. It was easy to see that things weren't going to end well in any situation that he was involved in.
Oh, right on my side, fuck the other side. P.O. won't let me visit. I sent bruh a kite. What's up, big homie? Oh, that's a wow. She say, what's in your pocket? That's a knot. I got a knot right here. Stimulus check.
On July 5th, just 6 weeks after and 1 block away from the George Floyd Memorial location, Leneesha and Zachary got into a heated argument. Nobody knows exactly what the disagreement was about, but witnesses say they saw Leneesha get into her Ford Explorer and attempt to pull away from Zachary. That's when police say he pulled out a weapon and started shooting into the vehicle. Leneesha, who was 5 months pregnant at the time, was shot in the torso. After the shooting, Zachary was confronted by a man who saw the entire incident. He tried to intervene, at which point Zachary turned the weapon on the man and shot him in the foot before fleeing the scene. Leneesha was rushed to the hospital where she died. Doctors were able to successfully deliver her baby, but unfortunately, 4 weeks after the baby's birth, she succumbed to her injuries, and she passed away on August 5th of 2020.
Minneapolis, a pregnant woman was killed. Her baby was delivered, but is now being treated in the neonatal intensive care unit.
And tonight we are hearing from the woman's family. Fox 9's Hannah Flood with that story.
Minneapolis police tell us this 27-year-old woman was shot and killed about a block away from 38th and Chicago, where George Floyd was killed. That site has now become a memorial, and police say that makes responding to calls in that area somewhat complicated. This is a photo of Lanisha Columbus. It was taken just last week. In it, she's standing with her uncle, Charles Dillon. Dillon shared with us this statement on the shooting, saying, quote, "This horrendous killing and cowardly act is an example of the pandemic of domestic violence and violence against women. It has to stop. Quarantine has shown a rise in domestic violence calls. My niece was a beautiful, creative soul, and she deserved to live. We need to raise these men better. Women and children are sacred." Dillon tells us Leneesha's baby is in the NICU and is doing okay as the family grieves this loss. Police say no arrests have been made, but confirm there was a second victim in this shooting.
There was a second victim that walked into HCMC about the same time. Investigators tell me that shooting is linked somehow to this case. It's unknown at this point, and they're investigating to determine what that link is.
Police say responding to the area around 38th in Chicago has been somewhat of a challenge.
We're being mindful of the fact that police presence isn't necessarily wanted in the area. We have experienced calls where there's been significant resistance from officers responding.
After the shooting, a nationwide manhunt ensued for Zachary. He was found and arrested a few days later in Chicago. He was initially only charged with Leneesha's murder and the assault for the witness that he shot in the foot. But after he and Leneesha's daughter passed away, his charges were upgraded to double murder. Zachary eventually pled guilty to all charges and was sentenced to 49 years in prison. He was also sentenced to an additional 5 years for a shooting that occurred months before Leneesha's killing, in which he robbed and shot a man outside of a strip club. This man was a real menace. What type of monster shoots their girlfriend who's pregnant with their child? It's just crazy. Everyone loved Nene. She was truly your neighborhood homegirl. After her death, the community made sure to lay flowers and balloons at the site where she lost her life.
Out here smoking this blunt, man. Came out here to pay my respects, you dig? Came to lay some flowers down for you, dig? That was some sucker ass shit. Woke up this morning like, damn, I ain't even gonna see my friend post nothing no more, nothing.
My heart truly goes out to Leneesha's family, friends, loved ones, and her children. It's just such a tragic story. If you are in a domestic abuse relationship, create an out plan and get out now. Once you are out, do not turn back. Turning back can cost you your life. As always, loves, don't forget to stay safe, subscribe, thumbs up, and hit that notification bell for future content.